why aren't you mad? Why aren't you mad, Republicans? Why aren't you mad, MAGA? Well, that's basically South Park's reaction this past week. And because they didn't make enough people mad with their first 2 episodes, they released what is a very unsettling alternate ending to try and enrage more people. And it completely flopped. No one cared. The comments were full of people, ripping on it. Again, I hope there's a new episode of South Park tonight. We don't know right now when episode 3 is going to air. I hope episode 3 is tonight, and I hope there's no stupid politics in it. Can we get like one funny side quest with Cartman? Could we get like one social commentary? What about on those like demonic dolls? What are those dolls called that they're like those little stuffed animals that people are paying a fortune for, that people say are demonic? I don't know. Something like, you can have your Drumpf Orange Man bad jokes. That's fine. It's not going to make me stop watching the show. But if like we get a 3rd episode in a row that is very clearly, about Trump, I'm going to lose interest. And I'm a little nervous that this is the road they're going down, because it appears, we'll talk about it. By the way, I just want to remind everybody, I have a Discord. It's 100% free for everyone to be in it. It's like a chat room. I'm going to be spending more time in there as opposed to being on X. We have a members Discord too, where you can chat, take part in other stuff. But you don't have to join that. You can just join the free one, which is fine by me. I'd love to talk to more of you, and I think I'm just going to narrow it down to that, because X is just, I don't know, it's a time suck. It's more toxic. I'd rather actually be talking to my viewers. So there'll be a link in the description below. There's a million videos on YouTube on how to install Discord if you've never used it before. It's just a chat room, and you can chat with all of the other subscribers, and there's all sorts of cool groups going on in there too. But also, our Blackberry Cream has hit Amazon. Free overnight shipping with our summer flavor, and 40% off our tangerine and cherry cordial also starts today. South Park, link in the description. South Park releases shocking alternate ending to controversial Kristi Noem episode. I don't really think it was controversial. Maybe this is what it felt like when they did Into the Panderverse, and everybody on like the right side of the media was talking about it for months. But I just wasn't offended by it. I thought her face falling off, I thought the absurdity of like influencer Kristi Noem is hilarious. I think the dog thing was a fine joke, but they released this alternate ending thinking it was going to get everybody all worked up, and we're going to look at the response. I'm not going to show it because it's vile and I'm a pet owner. I don't think that it's that funny. But 2 weeks after pointing a fire hose of blistering criticism, yeah, Trump is fat and has a small wang, real blistering. South Park is still going full bore against Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem. The animated comedy, we talked about back on August 6th, came out, called Got a Nut, which depicted Noem as an unhinged dog-erasing psychopath. Both Noem and Trump publicly objected to the ways that South Park portrayed them, but it's only made the flame of their animus burn brighter. The official X account shared a new credit scene for Got a Nut, which viewers who exclusively turned into the episode on broadcast premiere may have missed after the episode moved to Paramount Plus. Didn't see it on TV? Here's the Paramount Plus version of the end credits. It read. Now, here, we'll go to that tweet in a second. After 20 straight minutes of brutal satire, setting her up as a plastic surgery addled, opportunistic, cold-blooded, photo op obsessed dog destroyer, South Park decided what Got a Nut needed was more canine carnage. In the credit scene, Noem surreptitiously peeks over her shoulder while hobbling into a pet store and unloads mag after mag at the shop's furry tenants, which let out blood-curdling screams and whimpers. Only one tiny survivor breaks free, attempts to flee, but Noem leaps through the doors and buries 3 rounds in its face and abdomen, which of course are very specifically edited. Notably, Noem has not objected to that aspect of her animated persona, a reference she made in her 2024 memoir, No Going Back, which she describes personally taking out her family dog, Cricket, because of the pet's aggressive personality. Now, lots of people are telling me, Jeremy, you just didn't grow up on a farm, blah, 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 blah. I'm not saying it doesn't happen, okay? I think that, I think she thought, I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but using it to sell books and trying to, I don't know. It just didn't sit right with me. I'm not saying it makes her an evil person. I mean, I think if you dispatch your family pet in a quick and painless manner, it's really no different than having a vet come inject stuff into them. I just, it made me a little uncomfortable. I memed on her a little bit, but I mean, I don't think it makes her a horrible person. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement czar, who has overseen the unconstitutional, it is constitutional, and widely unpopular, incorrect, it's widely popular, it's why Trump won the election, expansion of brutal immigration raids since Trump returned to office, responded to South Park's apparent criticism of her appearance 2 days after got a nut. It's so lazy to constantly make fun of women for how they look. Dumb comment. I mean, she should know her photo ops with ICE are ridiculous. Conservatives think that too. People who voted for Trump think it's ridiculous. I have multiple times said I'm getting real sick of like Kristi Noem and Nancy Mace. Like they are the same garbage as AOC. They want to be Twitch streamers and not politicians. I don't care about that stuff. Go do your job. If they wanted to criticize my job, go ahead, but they clearly can't. They just pick something petty like that. She said, adding that only liberals and extremists do that. Again, she shouldn't have said that. She basically went like the feminist route, like, oh, you're making fun of a woman's appearance? That's not okay. Kristi Noem's appearance is absolutely positively in bounds, making fun of it because she's so vain. If she was just like a regular person and they depicted her as like some sort of whatever, it wouldn't have hit the same. But the fact that she very clearly does travel with like a full makeup and wardrobe right before these, ICE, to do these photo ops for ICE is absurd and should be made fun of. Now, they say here's the tweet. So didn't see this on TV. Here's the tweet. So they put this out yesterday, I think. And again, all of this is like molding that conservatives aren't more upset. Here's some of the replies. You guys know that the Democrats got caught filming, these kind of bedroom acts in the Senate office, right? Kamala was caught having her 60 Minutes interview edited to make her not sound so dumb, right? Buttigieg and his gay lover bought a baby and forced it to chest feed, right? I mean, why would you animate to the extent you did? It's a bit disturbing. You're extremely late on these jokes. I guess it takes $1 billion to make it. Overrated. Their wit was fun for a while. We've all graduated. Time to grow up. I don't know. I still think some of the jokes in that episode were funny. I wasn't triggered by it. I'm upset that, the lazy, like all these jokes have been made a million times before. So I just want something new, you see, never seen South Park try so hard. For those wondering why Trump and not Biden, Trump has a sense of humor. Biden would have disappeared them into CIA black ops site. That's not true. Hunter Biden's lawyer is also the lawyer for South Park, by the way. I didn't know if you knew that. You guys still forcing more of your clips on people because they aren't posting them themselves? Desperate, bad look. I mean, where's all the people saying, where are all the people saying this is hilarious and, amazing, all that kind of stuff? What's the story behind Captain Pups? Well, we know that. As funny as it was for the fourth time you did it in the episode. Wow, as funny as it was the fourth time you did it during the episode. South Park went South Park, not worth watching. Still waiting for the Biden episodes. Now they did do, I guess, a couple of jokes at Biden's expense, but they were basically throwaway. Nice now do Hunter. Really just not that funny. Just so we're clear, we hired Colbert's writers. That's not right at all. Kind of reminiscent of Jumping the Shark. You're trying way too hard. Again, the entire comment section is not, is just not interested. Again, all these people keep saying you know, the try-hardness is bonkers. That's what I want to go away. That's what I'm hoping I see tonight. Now, we don't know exactly how, you know, when this episode is, when will season 27 return? Well, some people say tonight, but the South Park account has not hyped a new episode for tonight, so I'm guessing they're still working on it. As of Tuesday, South Park X account still is being silent about episode 3. Various press outlets have different answers about when it will air. Newsweek reported episode 3 won't air on Comedy Central until Wednesday, August 20th, which would be another week. While Esquire said it would air Wednesday today, the 13th, went with a completely different date, noting that episode 3 will, IMDb said it will air on Friday, the 15th. Nobody really knows because they do generally work on the episodes until like the last possible moment. But I'm really, really hoping that they just go back to like, you know, just give me a break. You can come back to haha Trump fat small wang jokes. Just give me a couple. If all 10 episodes are going to be like this, like South Park is just cooked. They're going to get a tiny boost just like everyone does when it's you know, people draft on Trump's popularity. But if the entire season is just Orange Man bad, conservatives bad, I'm going to be tuning out. Not because I can't take Trump jokes, but because I can't take bad jokes. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do leave a like on it. If you haven't yet, please subscribe or follow down below, and we'll talk to you again real soon.